Along those lines, I want to talk for just a few minutes about quantum understandings and how our mass consciousness is such a powerful creator. And to the extent that those that wish to control the populace behind the scenes of the government have constantly used different techniques to manipulate so that we go into fear, we go into any of the negative paradigms, whatever that might be. And they're afraid of our power. And when we step into and own the amazing power of our creatorhood, the divine creatorhood that we are all part of, it's huge. And it was so important, at least in my understanding, in 2012, we as a humanity removed the largest veil on the planet that slowed down our manifestations because of the fear. So in other words, we are manifesting 100 times faster than we did prior to 2012. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Like, look out. Like, be more masterful.
And one of my favorite words is what you focus on expands. And if you're going to focus on love and light, that's going to expand. If you drop into a judgment, get out of it as soon as you can. You're human. You're going to drop into maybe an old pattern or something may trigger. But get out of it as quick as you can.
Don't run it very long. Yeah.
That's right.
Don't run it.
And there's been a huge amount of information out there, whether it's The Secret when it came out a number of years back or whatever, about creating and manifesting. But it's just important, more than anything else, to recognize I am a creator being.
We are creators.
What am I putting out there?
And our unconscious are creators. So if we don't transform the unconscious aspects, they're like little creators. And so in the Quest 7-step process I developed so people can do their own inner healing journey, in step 2, number 1, you identify, okay, let's say you're angry or upset, and you see that aspect of you and you get a visual image. So now you can dissociate enough to where you can work with it and help transform it rather than being the anger and letting it run you, okay? Which is the shadow self running you. You can come back to your authentic self and be in the position of power and then transform this aspect. So then in step 2 is like, how have you been? So you've been in my psyche. You just got triggered from what I just watched in the news. Now you're outraged and screaming. How else have you been affecting me on every level of my life from the unconscious? So now you get to have a little peek in of how your unconscious has been affecting everything. And I go through it, like mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, health-wise, financially, in relationship-wise, and career and destiny. And it's mind-blowing because I've been doing this for a long time with people, all walks of life and backgrounds. And when you start hearing how the one aspect that just got triggered from the news and is running you has been running the show quietly, and why your body's breaking down and why you've got relationships like this and financial constraint, it's mind-blowing. And when we transform these aspects, and let's say they're operating, they've been breaking down our lives and causing suffering, and so right before the session we're on one path, and there's going to be a lot more try and hassles in these areas. You transform this aspect, and it's always in a group now because we're transforming so much at once. What happens? You transform it back to the light of your divine self. Now it's its full potential self divine, not shadow self, operational creator being destroying your life. Now it's bringing beneficence. It's in the Adenic consciousness. It's a magic genie bringing in beneficence. And what's happening is you have left this path and you have leapt onto a new timeline. In a half hour, 45 minutes of your session, you are not the same person and you are not on the same timeline. You will not have the bad things going on that it in its little cluster group would have created. Now it's going to create positive. And I've done this work for years, and I've seen how night and day you have a relationship dynamic or a financial thing going on or some horrific health thing, and you're doing the pieces and all the inner work, and all of a sudden all that is swept away, almost like the Twilight Zone, and you're in a completely new reality. And now beneficence. Now that relationship that was so difficult for 7 years is resolved. Now a health issue, I've cured 3 incurables of myself. I've helped others with countless things that were impossible, unchangeable, or thought to be irreversible, and be transformed, even like deformities and things like that. Because when we shift the inner, the outer shifts. When we do the inner work, we jump onto new timelines. When we do that, we're bringing our family line and all of humanity with us. And now all humanity, from each one of us doing inner work one time, is now on a completely different trajectory, going into a more beneficent future. And so what I see with this sacred work we're all doing, and there's so many modalities, everyone can have their pick what they love, but as we're shifting the inner, what we're really doing is redialing the planet, like we're getting into a time capsule and redialing to an Edenic, amazing future that I've seen over and over, because I've taken many journeys into the future to take a look at, starting in 2012, how much are we changing the field and what are we looking at? Because I had the early visions of it all coming undone, like Casey and others did in my teens, and then I saw another trajectory. That was why we all came in, the unseen hand in this planetary destiny. And now I've been like watching it through the global forums, the global meditations, everything we're all doing. Oh my God, we are moving fast into a more glorious future. And this is a promise we gave ourselves. It's encoded within us, because every single person I've ever worked with, I found that code in them. I saw that they had the signature of the violet soul. They were encoded with a transformed future. They knew the template. They were here to embody the template. They were here to move out of these archaic systems within into that way of being that allows that to be a physical, tangible reality. So don't worry where you're getting triggered and who's doing it. Get inside, clean it up, jump onto your new timeline, graduate into the next level of your ascension into your true authentic self, and thank those people that are still in the unconscious playing out roles for you, so you can get triggered, so you can transform, so our planet can go into a beautiful Eden.
What a wonderful thought. For me, it's important to emphasize once again that one of the challenges in excellent material like The Secret is so much is still focused on, or that people played with, it's their, I'm going to have a positive affirmations. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's tremendous. But it's our total signature, which is the conscious and unconscious. And that's the part that you're talking about, that you've had such a level of success with your different books and other work that you've done.